Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football. Back here at Mineral Wells High School at the Mineral Wells State 7-on-7 qualifier. Here with the head coach of the Mineral Wells Rams, Coach Cody Worrell. And, Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us before you guys get started today.
Man, I appreciate you coming out here.
All right, Coach, first off, you guys are hosting an SQT. I know you guys play a lot of 7-on-7. You think it's important for your guys today. First off, it's nice to have one at home. You don't have to travel and go too far for it. But you guys, I know you want to go to state. What do you want to see out of your guys when they're competing today?
Man, I just want to see them, what you just said, competing, trying to get better offensively. For us, we run a lot of man in the fall, so it's a great situation for our kids to come out here and run man in a bad situation where they can't get their hands on people. So we find cover guys on the defensive side of the ball, and then obviously offensively, we just want to throw and catch better. So I just want our kids to come out here and compete today.
It's one of those deals, 7-on-7 is an offensive game. It's geared towards the offense. Do you have to tell your defensive guys ahead of time, hey, don't get too frustrated. When we get pads on, you can jam them, you can get your hands on them. So if you can cover them and stay with them just by using your feet, you're going to be that much more well-equipped once the pads come on to get in there, jam them, get a little more physical at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk to our kids all the time talking about how it's an offensive game, and anytime you get a stop, that's a huge deal. It puts more pressure on the offense to go down there and score. Every possession is important. It's tough to get stops in this, in 7-on-7, and we talk about that all the time.
And you didn't mince on your pool a little bit. You got a really good team in your pool in Decatur. You got really good teams throughout the tournament. It's a very balanced group. For you, doing that, you want your kids to play against the best because it's only gonna make them better once the fall comes around, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I told our coaches looking in this tournament. It's a tough tournament. There's a bunch of good teams, and some of the pools, most of the pools have 2 or 3 good teams in them. Stacked pools, I should say. So it's going to be a competitive day, and like I said, we're just trying to get out here and get better.
All right, now last year you guys go 4-6, just missed out on the playoffs, kind of fell on the wrong side of a tiebreaker in your first year at the program. Has that been a little bit of a motivating factor for you guys this offseason? Hey, we got to go that extra mile, we got to put in that extra rep, run that extra 400 because we got to close that gap. Because as you know, when you get into district play, one game can make the difference between playing on week 12 and playing in the playoffs or airing up the basketballs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's been big for us this year as motivation. Our kids going into the off season. I got here middle of May last year, so I didn't really get to. Our coaches got here in June, so we didn't even really get to have an off season with our kids, and so that's been a big thing. Number one is establishing our off season program. Our kids have done a phenomenal job. Our coaches have done a phenomenal job of getting those kids in here in the mornings and lifting and then running and all the off season fun stuff. So barely missing out on the playoffs was definitely a motivational thing going into the off season, and we're excited about what the season brings to us.
And how much further along, because you mentioned you got here, you really didn't get started till the middle of May last year. You've had a normal off season. You've been able to work with your kids, and I think now it's not just the basics. You're able to build on that foundation, and I think the kids are probably more comfortable with the coaches, and the coaches are more comfortable with the kids. And I'm sure it's been a very productive off season.
Yes, it has. And like I said, I can't brag about our coaches enough on the off season deal. They've taken the off season and just ran with it. And our kids have done a phenomenal job showing up. We lift early in the mornings, and we get about 98% attendance in the mornings on average, and so that was a big deal for us. And running track and getting out there on the field and running 400s and 300s and all that fun stuff is our kids. It was new to our kids, and they've taken it and ran with it as well.
Looking at your new district, I know people say, "Oh, Mineral Wells is moving down to Division II. What's going to be a lot easier for them." And I know you and your coaches and your kids don't feel that's the case because the new district's going to be just as tough, right?
Oh, absolutely. We were in 4A Division I with Burke and Springtown and Decatur and all those guys, Wichita Falls High, Old High, and obviously they went up with their new school, and we still have Burke. We feel like we replaced Springtown and Decatur with Brock and Graham, so pick your poison there. And then we got the new Eagle Mountain School. I think that's going to be a great job. That's a gold mine. They're going to be young this year, but I still think that they're going to be highly competitive. And Burke, Burnett, and Bridgeport are good teams and good programs as well.
All right, final question for you, Coach. Now, I come out to Mineral Wells during the playoffs especially. It's a wonderful stadium here. It's a great place to catch a high school football game, one of my favorites, one of the most underrated stadiums in the area. And you guys take good care of us in the press box. Get a little Chicken Express. Chicken Express always takes good care of the media in the press box. But if I want to grab a bite to eat in town, what's the Coach Worrell recommendation?
Well, someone told me that this is the burger capital of Texas. So there's all sorts of burger places here. You've got Dairy Mart. You've got Woody's. There's a couple of other places, but Woody's is my go-to. I love their cheeseburger. If you want Mexican food, we've got good Mexican food. La Australia. We've got a new Cajun restaurant in town, the Crazy Cajun. Anything downtown, Crazy Eights, Coffee and Cocktails, Second Bar and Kitchen. It's a great Pasta Fina. They're all good restaurants.
All right, when you get the Dave Campbell staff to come out to Mineral Wells and cover some games, right,
Absolutely.
Coach, good luck 2024. Appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas, and enjoy watching your kids compete today.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you.